that mismatch, NC State will go small. I talked to Mark Gottfried about it yesterday. He said when he has his two bigs in there, it puts Abdul Malik Abu in a tough spot having to defend Ingram. So to start the game, he's going to go with Cody Martin and Caleb Martin in there. Cody will be on Brandon Ingram, Caleb on Grayson Allen. He just feels like this gives them a better advantage defensively.
Wow, he doesn't wait. He matches down immediately.
Wolfpack won the tip. Abdul Malik Abu controlled it against Marshall Plumlee. Cody Martin, air ball. Abu, great effort to save it, but nobody there for the Pack. Freshman of the year in the conference, Ingram. Luke Kennard, fellow freshman. Plumlee's had a terrific year. Ingram, much taller than Barber, elected to pass, and it's a three for Matt Jones.
They're just so dangerous from three, Duke. 9.1 made threes per game. Matt Jones takes an awful high percentage of his shots from distance. Above 60% will come from three-point territory.
Cody Martin's pass lost by his twin brother Caleb. Kennard lays it in. And a terrific start for Duke, to the chagrin of Mark Gottfried. A minute in, they're up 5-0, the Blue Devils.
And as expected, Jay Williams touched on this. Matt Jones will get the initial assignment on Cat Barber, but you need awareness from all 5 white jerseys where he is.
Cat Barber for three.
That's a prime example, Sean, because Matt Jones gets hung up, right? To me, if you're Marshall Plumlee, you got to go out and contest that.
Barber, the leading scorer in the league. This man second. Grayson Allen, both on the first team all-conference. Plumlee stripped of it. Great effort to stick with it. Poked away again, this time by Caleb Martin. Cat Barber, the pull-up. Duke 5, Cat Barber 5.
There are the 3 levels. I mean, that guy, he is over 8 free throw attempts a game, Cat Barber. Legitimate three-point shooter this year, and the in-between game is there as well.
Kennard, nifty. The freshman from Franklin, Ohio. Barber shut off by Ingram, such a long defender. There to help Jones, who... And now they switch, and it's Ingram. Happy to report the shot clocks on top of the baskets are working now for the second game. Abu, foul, counted. And a chance for a three-point play for NC State. Mike Eads with the call. Tim Comer and Louis Andrikakos
well, and
are the other officials.
Sorry, Sean. Do you attack Marshall Plumlee because he's the lone post player that this staff seems to trust? He gets an early one. They play through that post. Abu is a talented offensive player. Now do they elect on the next possession to come right back and see if they can't get some early foul trouble on Plumlee?
Free throw by Abu gives NC State the lead. They played twice in the regular season. Duke won both. They were both hard-fought affairs. Barber with that speed, and Grayson Allen, a terrific athlete himself, hurried back to defend. And then Ingram fouled in the open floor by Caleb Martin. First foul on Caleb.
You normally see Cat Barber get into the open floor and have positive things happen, and as you said, the athleticism of Allen, a pretty good match there.
Allen, a deep three. He can hurt you from distance, and he can get to the rim.
You see Mark Gottfried, you know, if you're checking Grayson Allen, you know how good he is from distance. You've got to have one hand up and contest.
Abu off the screen from Caleb Martin. Nicely done. Abdul Malik Abu, sophomore from Boston.
They will wear out those elbows, NC State, whether they're trying to get a little rub screen for Barber or in that instance Abu.
Kennard. Well guarded by Rowan, who didn't go for that step, try to drive him off. Cody Martin for Abu in traffic. Abu off to a nice start. 7 points for Abu.
They're just a terrific job finishing over length and size. I mean, you're looking at a 7'3" wingspan in Ingram trying to block your shot and contest.
Ingram for 3. Rowan, yesterday's star in the win over Wake with 24 points, hits the floater. His first shot goes down for the freshman. Both teams shooting well. Allen tries another 3. Boy, it looked like he got popped on the release. That came up way short. Barber almost got flattened by Plumlee. Barber's a junior. Found some room, a lot of dribbling, waited for a little crack, and took advantage of it.
That's one aspect of his game, the time commitment spent to be better as a perimeter shooter. 2 for 2 from distance. And I still think you take your chances. If you're hung up on a screen, better to go under with him than get beat.
Jones, Plumlee's all alone underneath, got Rowan in the air. Don't know if it would have counted, but I think it would.
Cap Barber came in with the elite speed, unbelievable get-by ability, but it's been this aspect that's vastly improved and changed the way you can go. The numbers that you would have had with Emile Jefferson, he was averaging a double-double, and obviously you have to play a different way. Plumlee is the lone post player that this staff trusts and gives significant minutes to. Jeter has worked himself a little bit into the lineup, 6'10" freshman. The percentage of points in the absence of Emile Jefferson that they get from 3, and Jeter's getting ready. Without Emile, they get 37% of their points from deep. With Emile, 27%. They try awfully hard to get you to match down to them.
Here comes Chase Jeter, the McDonald's All-American from Las Vegas. Essentially, they've been playing 6 men without Jefferson. Jeter, the occasional 7. It was announced recently, after hoping for a long time, that Jefferson would be able to come back this year. He will not. Caleb Martin, the miss. Out of bounds, still NC State ball. Here's Allison Williams.
NC State describing it as a slugfest to start this game. A couple things defensively for them. Not happy with how many uncontested 3s they've given up. They have to get through the screens quicker and make Duke take a tough shot. Now the focus has been to stop that middle penetration, so they know that leaves them somewhat vulnerable to giving up the 3, but they've got to get there defensively quicker.
Maverick Rowan, the miss. A couple of tips and they get it to go. I believe it was Caleb Martin.
Boy, that's easier said than done, Allison, because Duke has a tremendous ability to spread you out and drive you, whether for the basket, this little mid-range that Kennard's going to get off the drive.
Chase Jeter at the offensive glass, and they'll count it. They gave the last NC State bucket to B.J. Anya, who just came in. And now Jeter, instant contributor off the bench.
6'10". Nice job just getting himself into position, getting Anya out of position.
He hadn't had a field goal in any of the last 3 games. Scored just 1 point total in the last 3 games of the regular season for Duke. Eric Thornton up on Cat Barber. Big B.J. Anya started out to set a screen. Kennard stayed in front of Caleb Martin, who scooped it up with the left hand.
Boy, terrific concentration as Jeter with that length coming at him. But I like the communication from Jeter on the screen and roll with Barber.
Ingram, beautiful release. 40% for the season from the 3-point arc for the freshman from Kinston, North Carolina. Rowan the pull-up, way off with Grayson Allen defending. Duke down by a point, despite the fact they're 4 out of 6 from beyond the arc. Kennard, no. Caleb Martin the rebound. You wouldn't know looking at the margins they played a game yesterday. Those guys look like they could run a marathon right now. Barber fouled by Derek Thornton, first on the freshman from Chatsworth, California.
Well, here's the guy you're talking about. I mean, has to do a lot of work just to get that shot off. Could have been a foul. And then Ingram with the challenge from Martin on that shot. They both got difficult checks.
In deep to Cat Barber. 8 games of 30 points or more this season, despite the fact that every team has its defense primarily focused on him. Anya, nice handoff from Cody Martin.
You have to like that possession because Barber picks up his dribble, gets trapped in the corner, but they stayed patient and went to the next level of their offense.
Corner 3 wouldn't go for Jones. Oh, and the NC State bench in an uproar. They have the ball. We're heading to the offensive end, and Mike Eads has a foul. And it's on Maverick Rowan, his second. So not only does it take the ball away, but it sends Rowan to the bench.
Yeah, this is the first look at the lineup Allison was talking about. So they didn't start the game with the 2 bigs, but now they've got those 2 bigs. Does Duke take advantage?
Ingram, another 3. He's 3 for 3 from behind the line for 9 points. Abu banging with Plumlee. Shot clock 5. Cody Martin, a lot of shake and bake and a miss. Plumlee. Ingram, they're up on him at the line. Thornton, long with a 3. Cody Martin, 1 minute older than his twin brother Caleb, had the rebound. This is fun to watch. Barber and Allen, 2 highest scoring players in the league, and both spirited defenders. Caleb too strong. Anya on the glass.
Now there's one big foul call here for NC State. Maverick Rowan's going to be called for his, so it changes your lineup. You see the bottom of your screen. He falls down, but he's holding Jeter's arm. That changes the matchups, right? It puts 2 bigs on the floor. You've got to close out if you're Abu, not in touch.
Yes.
So it's going to have to be sort of by committee. Everybody aware with Matt Jones taking the lead.
Mike Krzyzewski's won 13 ACC tournament titles of the 19 Duke has won as a school. 5 national championships.
2 gold medals, 20 consecutive 20-win seasons, 1,040 wins up against 319 losses. Wow.
If he sticks with us, he might be pretty good at it someday. Grayson Allen has a chance to be their season leader in scoring and assists. Strong move to the goal. Derek Thornton the bucket.
We're just seeing such tremendous growth to me over the course of the season from both Thornton and Ingram. And Ingram's a little bit more eye-popping than Thornton's, but how much more comfortable Thornton looks than he did early in the year.
Ooh, tough pass. That was poked into the backcourt by Jones, so no over and back. 10 to shoot. The pull-up rattled home by Caleb Martin. Ingram, tough shot, and hit on the arm by Abdul Malik Abu.
And this is problematic, right? Because Abu is being asked to guard Ingram, who is a matchup problem for whomever, but certainly for this guy. You got to close out on the 3. You got to try to contain the dribble drive. It's just an awful lot to ask from a big Abu size.
9 already for Ingram on 3 threes. Duke's taken 17 shots from the floor, and 10 of them have been threes. Doris mentioned how heavily they lean on the three, particularly without Emil Jefferson. Rowan back in with the 2 fouls. Cody Martin gets a break. 16.7 per game this year for Brandon Ingram, third among major conference freshmen. Jamal Murray 20 points per game. Henry Ellenson at Marquette playing for Wojo.
Yes.
Familiar to fans of Duke basketball. 16.8 per game for Ellenson from Marquette. Anya trying to back in Ingram. Plumlee came to double. And Caleb Martin, a long 2-point field goal for North Carolina State.
Well, he's been asked to do an awful lot. Got to score, got to check Grayson Allen.
Boy, Ingram. A lot of NBA personnel people here, Doris, and starting to hear some debates about Ingram versus Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I think it's a fascinating discussion. Obviously, Simmons just a more refined game, at least initially. There's the 3 from Rowan. But the upside of Brandon Ingram, the upside for Simmons is that he'll develop that perimeter jump shot. Think about Ingram as a full-grown man, body filled out, and all the tools at his disposal. Good luck with this guy.
He's already added about 20 pounds of muscle since he's been at Duke, but there's more room certainly to add muscle to that 6'9", 190-pound frame. Cat Barber blocked by Plumlee, who then picked it off the floor. Boy, Marshall Plumlee having a terrific final season at Duke.
It's unbelievable. The kid has just maximized his abilities, does whatever is asked, plays so hard, Marshall Plumlee.
Averaged barely 2 points per game a year ago. He's at 8 points and 8.7 rebounds overall, and better than that in both categories in ACC play. Oh, Ingram hit the shot and then afterwards got tangled up, and he's down grabbing at his left ankle. He's had a phenomenal first half and grimacing in pain. Now he tells the officials, "I'm okay," and they wave the trainers away, so Ingram doesn't have to go out of the game. Sigh of relief from Coach K. Ingram's with 16 points now, including 4 out of 4 from the 3-point arc.
Steps on Martin's foot.
Ooh, twisted that left ankle. Mike Krzyzewski has said a couple of times he thinks Ingram could play anywhere from point guard to power forward, 1 through 4 in the NBA.
Well, think about the way the league is moving. Smaller, faster, tempo's different, bigs who have to be able to stretch the defense. How drastically Dirk and KG changed the way young guys want to play in a post.
Nip and tuck throughout. Tie game as Grayson Allen rips down a rebound. Largest lead of the game for either team. Duke by 5. Wolfpack had a 4-point margin. Plumlee, nice move around the hoop. And the 7-footer will be at the free throw line after the media timeout.
Brandon Ingram, 6'9", wiry, but big time, major talent. Will he be the #1 pick? I don't know, but it's been a fun year watching this young man, draining it with consistency from deep.
This is our point of view.
Advantage because they didn't have to play today, and his guys all just laughed at him. He said they are very hungry to get another chance at beating Duke. They lost the 2 regular season matchups with the Blue Devils. He said, we know Duke has lost 3 of their last 5 down the stretch here to close out the regular season. Our guys want to crack at them.
Oh, it's interesting. They've given up 6 for 11 from deep, and it's locked up at 32. And with the 2 misses there, still there.
Anya went to sleep on the rebound, and Matt Jones took it away. He missed a 3. Cat Barber the rebound. You mentioned the NBA people here, Doris. We both had a chance to talk to some last night. And we've speculated about whether Barber will come out after this his junior year, and almost all the feedback we got was he'd be a 2nd-round pick and could probably help himself get a little bit better if he stayed. He fed Abu for the bucket. And the other part of that is the NBA people we talk about think that next year's draft is going to be deeper than this year's draft. There's a lot to consider for Cat Barber.
No question about it. I do think another year would help him because I think he'd be even more consistent. Ooh, no offensive foul there, and the jumper is good. Could have easily, I thought, been a push-off by Allen.
No doubt. Mark Godfrey thought so up off the bench, gesturing. Allen used the free arm to create some space, and he has 5 points. He's trying to become the 9th player in the season at Duke to lead the team in both scoring and assists.
Grayson Allen is a big-time talent, loves to compete. Did he use the arm to push off? Certainly looks like he did in that instance. No call, basket good. And then Cat Barber just working, just trying to use that little rub screen. Nice job feeling that extra defender close to him.
Duke with a chance to take the lead after just the second Wolfpack turnover. Been a very cleanly played game. Each team now with 2 turnovers. And Grayson Allen called for the foul. First foul on Grayson Allen. Mark Godfrey and the Wolfpack with the win yesterday. Got back to 500 for the season overall. 16-16. They won't be in the NCAA tournament this year unless they win 5 games in a row here. They already have 1 of those with the victory over Wake yesterday. Rowan, the bucket.
Well, he's been impressive in this tournament, the 6 threes yesterday, but also, you know, he gets by the initial defender Jones because he closed out so hard. That mid-range was solid from Rowan.
Mark Godfrey talked about when he first saw Rowan in a summer tournament. He was already committed to Pittsburgh, but he kept watching me. He told his assistants how much he liked Rowan. It turns out he reopened his recruitment, and he said he just loved his intestinal fortitude.
Yes.
Friend and colleague might say onions, but he's trademarked that, I think, so I don't think we can say that.
No.
Well, you think Bill Raftery would give us permission?
I never want to steal because Raft is the absolute best, but he told a great story about Rowan. So he obviously moves down to Florida.
From Pennsylvania.
From Pennsylvania, switches schools, obviously. And Mark says to him, you know, do you think your Florida team would beat the Pennsylvania team? He said, depends on which side I'm on.
Kennard had some blood on his arm, so he's come out of the game. There might be a spot or 2 on the court as well. They called out a gentleman with a towel. We've had a lot going on in this building today. And some legendary figures in the stands. The first game we saw Derek Coleman. And there's the Admiral David Robinson, Basketball Hall of Famer. His son Justin is on the Duke team, freshman.
He's got a pretty good wide receiver for his son as well.
Yeah. Corey at Notre Dame is also involved in an amazing number of other projects. Ingram's free throw short. Abu the rebound.
I wonder what kind of night. He's already above his season average of 16, got 17. Still 5+ to play. What's coming, Mr. Ingram?
Abu. Plumlee run that down. Allen gave it back quickly to Thornton down the lane. And right by the defense of Leonard Freeman, who's come in off the bench. We mentioned yesterday, Freeman has a steel rod in his right shin. Missed almost all of the offseason after surgery to put that 14-inch rod in there. And lately he's been sore and limping and hasn't played very much as a result. So a team that's not very deep has even less depth as a result. Abu tried to jam it down to Freeman. And all of a sudden some turnovers after both teams were great with the ball early on. Ingram shut off by Abu. Freeman too late to get out there, but Ingram still missed. Barber had room at the line. If you fall asleep for a fraction, he'll make you pay.
And you let him get comfortable early. Remember the first play of the game, Matt Jones gets hung up and he drains his first three, and then it becomes a lot easier. Cat Barber now 3 for 3 from distance.
He's 35% from behind the arc for the year. Ingram showing he can go inside. He's already demonstrated the three-point shooting ability. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the first half. A chance for a three-point play for the Pack.
Well, we always talk about what's the percentage of offense that Cat Barber is generating for his team. He's made 3 for 3 from distance. We've seen him do this. Draw 2 at the rim, make it easy on his big. Nice soft catch. You've got to come over if you're Marshall Plumlee. And that leaves your man to step into an easy opportunity.
First foul on Jones for Duke. Abu missed the free throw. In NC State's loss at Duke on February 6th, they lost 88-80. Abu had 16 points and 17 rebounds. Taking advantage of the absence of Jefferson. In the middle of that defense, Luke Kennard, after his finger got bandaged, back in. And the bucket to tie the game at 41. Abu thought he was a little bit beyond his range. Rowan down the lane by Kennard. And NC State back up by 2. Maverick Rowan has been bothered by a sore foot late in the year that had to miss almost all of their practices for the last couple of weeks. He's been terrific in 2 days in D.C. Plumlee off the setup by Kennard.
Boy, just terrific job. Kennard looked like he actually lost control of that momentarily. Not only the ability to regather, but keep his head up.
Kennard had a 26-point game against NC State in the regular season. Barber missed a 3. Ingram the rebound in traffic, and then Cody Martin on his back called for the foul.
Well, we've had a heck of a game, all locked up at 43. You have got to love what we have seen thus far. Maverick Rowan's been fearless. Young man could be a high school senior. Instead, he's in the ACC tournament in Washington, D.C. doing work. Could have been an N1. And
the Panthers advanced, but it was dicey in that second half, as Sean McDonough and Doris Burke know all too well. Back to you guys.
Yes, we were here. It was interesting. It will always be interesting when you listen to Jay Williams and Seth Greenberg debate. And Ingram. Still tied at 43. Yesterday in their win over Wake Forest, NC State played through a game that was tied 15 times and had 16 lead changes. Barber the miss, Ingram in the rebound in traffic. Today's game has been tied already 11 times and there have been 10 lead changes. So they played in 2 games about as tight as you can be in. Luke Kennard, nice move.
he is now 4 for 6 with a couple of assists to go with that. It's been impossible to contain off the dribble drive.
Cat Barber gestured as the ball was in the air, and Caleb Martin, as if to say, what are you doing taking that shot? And then it went in. Sean Kirk is on the floor. There he is up guarding Kennard. I think Kennard thought he missed that three, went charging toward an offensive rebound. There's Kirk, who did not play at all yesterday. They were a 7-man team, but second game in as many days, playing Duke a little deeper down the bench today.
Yeah, and it didn't look, Sean, like Freeman was moving especially well. That's the sign that he's going to go out as Cat gets to the rim yet again. What a display by Barber and Ingram. These two young men are playing.
He told Allison Williams the other day he doesn't get tired, and certainly looks to be the case when you watch Cat play. Kennard the miss. Plumlee tapped it out, but it went to Cody Martin. Barber finds Caleb Martin. No problem with that three-point field goal attempt.
Really good job by Cody Martin to get that into Cat Barber's hands. Forces Coach Krzyzewski to call a timeout. He could have held that and been the playmaker. Instead, he gets it to the right guy.
Three players in double figures for the Wolfpack, including Caleb Martin, who now has 12.
Great snag out there, Alex. Did flavor factor into the play?
Yes. You know, it's the best tasting energy drink.
Clearly, with great taste, 0 calories, and 0 sugar, Zions has you performing like a pro.
Well, yeah, you know, it's a real game changer for me.
So what's the game plan moving forward?
We're taking this thing all the way, baby. Woo! Mic drop.
Denied.
Well, how'd you do that?
Zions. Great taste, 0 calories.
Welcome back inside the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C., site of the New York Life ACC tournament. Second round action. NC State and Duke. High scoring first half. I don't know if the coaches will be thrilled with the offense or very disappointed in the porous defense. We have over 100 points on the board now after the Plumlee dunk makes it 51-50 in favor of NC State.
Just terrific execution coming out of that timeout by Duke. Little two-man game. Plumlee's such a good hard roller. And Duke goes into the zone.
Usually when it's like this, Doris, you ask good offense, bad defense, and usually it's a combination of both.
Agreed. I'm enjoying the offense, I must say.
Yes, indeed. Cat Barber, fresh as a daisy.
And NC State returns the favor, goes into a zone of their own.
15 points for Cat Barber. Already 5 players in this game in double figures between the two teams, led by Brandon Ingram's 19. Shot clock is off. That time they did get Grayson Allen for the discard that sent Cat Barber to the floor.
It's just terrific anticipation. You know that Grayson Allen is a very hard driver, so he puts it between his legs, tries to cross over, uses the left arm. That's just good speed, good defense.
Timeout NC State. Back for the final 6 seconds of the half in a moment.
Hey! Red Bull gives you wings.
.53 points, the most in the first half for Cat Barber in the Wolfpack this season. And a chance to add some more here with possession of the ball and 5.9 seconds to go in the half. Barber guarded by Thorne, a little stop and go, and he took too much time. Mark Gottfried, though, clapping. Cat Barber leading the pack with 15. Brandon Ingram leading all scorers with 19, including 4 out of 5 from behind the three-point arc. Here's Allison with Mark Gottfried.
Thanks, Sean. Coach Gottfried, you went small to start the game with the 4 guards. What have you liked about that matchup?
Well, we're a little quicker. I think we can guard them a little bit better. Unfortunately for us, we don't have a lot of depth if we get into foul trouble, and so then we had to go back big. But I think it's something good if we can stay out of foul trouble. So our guys are doing a great job with it.
In a game that is this high scoring and back and forth and kind of shot for shot, what do you tell your guys?
Keep playing. We got to guard them a little bit better, but I love the aggressiveness of our team. I'm so proud of these guys. We got to do it 20 more minutes. Boy, they're playing their hearts out right now.
Mark, thanks.
Thank you.
Been a disappointing season, but he's been pleased with the effort all year long. Both teams shot over 60%. They combined for 103 points and only 6 turnovers. We turn it over for the Volkswagen Halftime Report. Adnan, Seth, and Jez. Welcome back to Champ Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, the 2016 New York Life ACC Tournament from Washington, D.C. and the Verizon Center. 53-50, NC State leading Duke at the half. The first half combined point total of 103 points, the second highest first half in the history of the ACC tournament, surpassed only by 105 in what was a very memorable championship game back in 1974. As we go along, we'll give you a little perspective on some of the players in that game, but some pretty good players in this game waging war offensively in the first half.
Cat Barber with 15 points on 6 of 10, walks up into a 3 in transition. This was what he came into NC State with, that ability to get by people. And Brandon Ingram, how about this guy? 19 points on 6 of 8, including 4 of 5 from distance. They deploy him in a lot of different areas, this time showing off those back-to-the-basket skills. Let's look at the precision play brought to you by Pitney Bowes. Ingram had 4 of the 7 made threes for Duke, and Cat had 3 of the 6 threes for NC State.
Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard, Cat Barber right there on the catch. Matt Jones spinning to the bucket, well guarded by Maverick Rowan. And Abdul Malik Abu had the rebound, sent Cat Barber on his way, and the offense continues.
Wow, that is a big-time shot. I thought he got caught in the air with nowhere to go. He was challenging size. He could not have made the pass to the corner. That is just brilliant offensive play by a brilliant player.
Oh, Ingram, a little over-the-head pass to Marshall Plumlee. Brandon Ingram showing all of his skills. Before we get too far away from it, this was just the second time in the history of the ACC tournament 2 teams combined to score 100 points or more in the first half. And how about the talent in that championship game in 1974 when they combined for 105 points in the first half. Abu blocked by Plumlee. And Abu thought Ingram was last to touch but didn't get the call.
We're going to get back to that point because that was a heck of a tease as Cat puts it high off the window. All right, hit me. As you see Ingram on the pass. Plumlee the recipient of a terrific look.
It'll be 2074 by the time I get to the end of this. There are probably people wishing I already had it. But at the half, when they gave us that note about the points, you know, look in the record books, it was 55-50 Maryland at the half in 1974. NC State won in overtime, 103-100. Tommy Burleson, 38 points. David Thompson, 29 points. And Maryland lost with Tom McMillan, Len Elmore, and John Lucas on the team.
Wow. Just rub it in. Lenny's probably somewhere watching and listening.
Abu, the dunk with authority.
A good feel. And you heard Mark Gottfried at the end of the half tell Allison he'd like to stay with the small lineup, which is on the floor right now. It's all about foul trouble.
Grayson Allen buries a 3. So they're picking up right where they left off offensively. 2 minutes gone by, second half. NC State, which played yesterday while Duke had the day off. The Wolfpack looking very fresh, even with a very short bench. Abu guarded by Ingram, sent it back out to Rowan, a little bit long with the 3-point try. And Marshall Plumlee, the rebound, is 6th. Kennard turned the corner. Ingram with space and another 3. His 5th in 6 tries from behind the arc.
He gives some credit to his teammates too, because they're driving gaps and finding him. Kennard in particular able to get by that initial defender.
Ooh, Barber tried to go behind the back and go around Ingram. Ingram showing he can defend a very small but quick player in Cat Barber. Jones the rebound. I don't know if Ingram will wind up being the first pick, but he's probably moved up some draft boards today. Kennard the 3, and all of a sudden Duke is up by 4.
And Sean, the point you just made as you see the run for Duke, it's not just about what he's done on the offensive end. The ability to stay in front of Cat, how few guys with smaller, quicker feet have done it.
What's the record for points in the second half of the tournament game? Maverick Rowan has the pack back within 1. Brandon Ingram did not shoot the ball well at the start of the year. First 5 games of the season, he shot 36% from the floor. Since then, over 45% and 18 points per game.
Boy, they're called jump ball, yeah.
And NC State ball on the arrow.
You're talking about the struggles for Brandon Ingram early. I had his first game, and he just looked like a colt who was just trying to find his legs. The physicality was a little bit problematic at the start, but boy, once he settled in.
Look courtside, said, looking at Doris Burke. He knew it was a big game.
Yeah.
Anybody would feel the pressure in their first college tilt with that going on.
Good job by Kennard fighting off Rowan.
Caleb Martin launched the three with 6 on the shot clock. Brother Cody tried to rescue it. Could not. Here's the media timeout.
Well, Duke is known for its three-point ability. They average 9 threes per game. They're getting close to that mark. The drive, the draw, the dish to Ingram, who's been sensational from distance. And Luke Kennard, yes, sir, pretty well-rounded game. Walk up into a three, good form. Relax.
ESPN film.
Get a couple stops defensively, an improvement from the first half when associate head coach Jeff Capel told me they stunk, to put it in TV appropriate terms. He said NC State got whatever they wanted. They didn't feel us at all. We had no pressure on them. And that's because we haven't talked, we haven't helped, and we're not communicating and connected on defense. He said we have to be better in every facet defensively.
I think both coaches were preaching that at the half. Still shooting at a high level, Duke and NC State. Mark Gottfried trying to extend the season for another day. Duke's certainly going to be in the NCAA tournament. They'd like to win the ACC tournament championship on their way to the dance. Abu at the bucket. And then back and forth they go.
Yeah, just good follow. You know, I know Cat Barber gets blocked, but he's recognized Plumlee was on him from distance, had to guard him a long way, and eventually he was going to make something good happen for his team.
Good hands by Barber. He and Allen hit the deck. Shot clock at 11. Kennard got rid of Cody Martin and banged one home from the wing. Barber several times yesterday winced in pain with his right arm, and now it's bothering him again. Keeps landing on that right arm and elbow.
It's not the way it always is. You bang one part of your body. It's like Steph Curry's shin. You couldn't stop banging it.
And here's a look back to yesterday. The only time there's a chance he's going to come off the floor is when he gets dinged up. He played the full 40 yesterday, and I think this is his first trip to the bench today. They at least have him credited with having played the entire game to this point on the official stat sheet.
Much more efficient day. He could not, outside of the paint yesterday, he really had trouble making any shots. Today, a much higher percentage from outside the key. And that moves Martin up to the backup point guard position.
And Doris, would you agree with me? They have no chance of winning this game if he can't come back in.
No question about it. He just creates so much of their offense.
Caleb Martin found B.J. Anya. They're down to 5 on the clock. Usually it's Barber figuring out where to go. The shot wouldn't fall for Abu, but they're doing great work on that offensive glass. Rowan teed up a 3. Plumlee the rebound. And they're still tending to Cat Barber at the end of the bench. Grayson Allen, strong foray to the goal. Second tight game of the day here in Washington, D.C. Pittsburgh held off a last-second shot by Trevor Cooney that would have won it for Syracuse. The Panthers win by 1. Tonight, Clemson and Georgia Tech see their first action in this tournament. And Virginia Tech will take on Florida State. Florida State had to play yesterday and beat Boston College to advance to the second round. Notre Dame coaching staff here doing some scouting. The number 4 seeded Fighting Irish get their first action tomorrow.
Putting a sleeve on Cat. That's going to try to prohibit any swelling. You wonder if they put a little pad in case he falls there again. And that last defensive possession, Sean, why B.J. Anya doesn't just take a charge. I know he's a terrific shot blocker. Grayson Allen was flying down the lane out of control, and instead of just taking the charge, giving up your body, you try to block it, and you give up 2 free throws.
And it's not Mike Krzyzewski's first rodeo. Barber out of the game. He brought some pressure, trying to force a turnover. And pass intended for Rowan, but there was a foul. Apparently he was being held as he went for that pass. Where I mark, okay, he's coming back in. I was just about to say, Doris, if I'm Mark Godfrey and I think there's a chance Barber could come back in soon, I'd call a timeout now and tell the medical people, you have 2 more minutes, get it done, and let's get him back out there. Wearing a sleeve now. Lobbed into Abu for the dunk. Beautifully executed inbound play. One of the highlights of their season, the inbound play from under the basket with 1 second to go to beat Boston College at the buzzer. And it looked like they might be the first and only team to lose to BC during this ACC season. $17 lead changes, 12 ties in this game. Caleb Martin, Duke fans wanted an offensive foul as Thornton hit the deck. I thought it was a pretty good no call from here.
Well, a really good job. You know, it didn't look like that possession was going anywhere, but NC State was specifically hunting that matchup with Thornton checking Caleb because the size differential made it an easy one.
Now Thornton started toward the bucket, had it slip out of his hands. Plumlee a little jump hook, and he's fouled by B.J. Anya.
Good patience by NC State. You see B.J. Anya's trying for the duck in on one side. Nice little up and under. Waits for Plumlee to clear.
Foul on Anya, his 3rd. He's the first player on either side to pick up his 3rd foul. Plumlee at the line, just 57.6 for the year. Swished that one home.
Cap Barber has got, for long stretches of this break at the free throw line, was putting both his arms behind his back, almost trying to stretch out that right arm. You can tell that young man's in a little bit of pain right now.
Doris, he was definitely in pain when he was on the bench. They're calling it an elbow bruise, and they put on that compression sleeve to help him, but we'll see how it affects his play.
Played through long stretches of it yesterday with some, actually a great deal of effectiveness.
Almost intentionally, it seems, dribbling with his left hand exclusively here. Back to the left to go by Thornton, and then fouled. Well, his arm is hurting, but his legs are still fine. He shot the ball very well today. 50% from the floor, including 3 out of 6 from 3, 7 for 14 overall. Chase Jeter called for the foul, his first.
Just does such a terrific job. If there's an angle, a sliver of daylight, if your top foot is out of position, he's going to attack it.
Well, you'll know if he struggles at the line that the elbow is a problem on the shot, because he's one of the best free throw shooters in the country. Those two look good. He's 87% for the year.
Zone for NC State, trying to mix up their defensive looks.
Grayson Allen off the mark from 3. Chase Jeter hasn't played a lot, but he's been a factor in his couple of appearances in this game today.
I think you'll see this young man make a monumental step next year. He's got size, athleticism. He's a quick jumper.
Abu, the foul, is second. He was one of the top recruits in the country. Played a very small role, but Mike Krzyzewski remains very positive about this young man's future.
He can do a lot of things, Sean. He can rebound and run. His work ethic is there.
And he can shoot a neck ball from the free throw line.
He only turned 18 in September.
And that's what Coach K keeps reminding people. came in with so much hype. Krzyzewski's been asked many times, is he a disappointment? Was he overrated coming in? And Mike's been quick to say he doesn't feel like that's the case.
I hate that word for an 18-year-old. A nice little mid-range by Grayson. I understand relative to expectations, but and especially for big men, Sean, because to me they're at this level a little bit slower unless you're a special case like Okafor. Comes a little slower for the bigs.
Grayson Allen putting the hands in, trying to rip it away from Rowan. Rowan squirming on the court, and finally they got a timeout called. The coaches ordinarily would do that, but they changed the rule this year. Mark Godfrey got the attention, I believe, of Cody Martin to ask for the timeout, and it was granted from the floor.
Boy, we got a tight one. Mark Godfrey, the intensity is there.
Mike 2 at the half. The winner gets the 1 seed Oregon. Sean?
Thank you, Adnan. Always entertaining when we throw it back to the studio, whether it's Adnan by himself or with his sidekicks, Seth and Jay. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet of game action. Emmys for all. Back into this.
It's 70-68 Duke, and the Stars have been big time today, and you must love playing with Brandon Ingram. And watch off the dribble drive, the relocation by Marshall Plumlee. Get in his vision because he is a willing and capable passer. Today's Fresh Take brought to you by Subway. Brandon Ingram, 5 for 6 from 3, Sean.
Back inside go the Wolfpack, and B.J. Anya the bucket. There are still, Doris, with 140 points on the board, only 6 turnovers total in the game. Neither team has turned it over in this half.
Wow.
Not a defensive clinic. Chase Jeter out of the witness protection program for Duke today. Cat Barber playing with a sore right elbow. Abu working on the freshman Jeter. Nice pass, whipped it underneath, and Anya missed a short one. Doris, it almost feels like you can't afford empty trips in this game because the other team's going to go down and score. Jeter blocked. He was in a double team, and Anya, the all-time leader in blocks at NC State, swatted it. He moved past Thurl Bailey for that honor earlier in the season. Chase Jeter on the floor. Part of the held ball. Here's Allison Williams.
During the last timeout, Mark Godfrey told his guys, from here on out, it's about toughness. Who wants it more? And, you know, some coaches use timeouts to draw up plays or show what they want done defensively. What he drew on the board, 2 o'clock tomorrow, Notre Dame. And he asked his guys, who wants them?
I like that. I got goosebumps over here on the sideline. I'd play for you, Mark Godfrey.
I think he'd be a fun guy to play for. Good guy, fine coach, as he's demonstrating here at NC State after a nice run at Alabama. Whoa! Abu at the rim to finish the job.
Well, how good has this guy been? Not only creating for himself, but his teammates. Sometimes the degree of difficulty greater than others.
4 dunks today for Abu, and a dunk for Plumlee.
Has not been a defensive clinic, but I love this guy. He's one of those guys you want to play with because, and his high school coach said it, he was not ego-driven or searching records. He wanted to make the right play. We've seen that on multiple possessions.
Barber again leaning to the left on the dribble. Double team and threw it away. It should be an easy 2 for Kennard. Many of the Duke fans on their feet. Very good crowd here in the middle of the afternoon in our nation's capital. Maverick Rowan banked it in. Little double clutch in the air, and it didn't throw it out. It actually did throw it off. He was lucky. He banked it in.
But just a terrific close by Grayson Allen, forcing that double clutch.
Grayson Allen rattles home a 3. Last team with the ball is going to win this game the way it's going.
Was Allison saying they haven't felt us at all on the defensive end? That's what Jeff Capel said. I don't think you felt either one defensively.
11-3 of the game for Duke. 11 for 21, better than 52%. The Packs made 8 out of 16 from behind the line. Rowan wants to launch it, but Grayson Allen's too close. Thornton to Kennard, the up and under scoop. And Duke has the largest lead of the game for either team.
Does Mark Gottfried use a timeout here? I think this is wise, Sean. It looked like a little bit of bad body language after a couple of turnovers, so this is smart. You see, Rowan tries to make a play against Allen. Ball comes loose. First to react to Thornton. Slow up the floor is Barber. How about that degree of difficulty? Kennard with the finish. And slow to get up. Barber a little bit slow. We've got a 2-on-1 circumstance. Numbers for Duke. Big basket here for NC State. You got to make sure you stay attached and get some momentum back.
And they've essentially played 7 men both days. Duke did not have to play yesterday as the number 5 seed. Barber's come out just very briefly to get that elbow taken care of a few minutes ago. Wonder if Duke will try to reestablish Ingram. He hasn't scored in 9 minutes. That one falls off. Abu the rebound.
Marshall Plumlee took a pretty good shot.
Pat Barber looked like Ingram might have gotten a piece of that. And then a foul as Cody Martin tried to yank it away. Yeah, there's no doubt, Doris, we can see it very clearly sitting right here at the edge of the court. The Wolfpack players are tired.
And Plumlee going to make his way to the bench.
Cody Martin is limping. He was just called for his 3rd foul, Cody Martin.
Takes an elbow right to, it looks like the bridge of the nose. That is painful. He'll have to come out. And Cat Barber, as you said it, Martin goes out. He doesn't look right with that knee. Oh, man. Ow.
That's not good.
Oh, not looking.
No, you shouldn't. Ingram short with the turnaround. Worked hard to get it back. Kennard, who has 20 points today, his 7th game of 20+ of his freshman season. Ingram still leads them with 22. Ingram's high is 27 this year. Grayson Allen didn't get the bounce. Kennard took it away from those tired NC State players. Didn't look like anybody in red got off the floor.
No question. I mean, it's just signs of fatigue everywhere. And Kennard's activity, his scoring production, his ability to not be contained off the dribble, been crucial to what they've done today.
Ingram kept it alive. Kennard off the mark. Duke with some great chances here to widen the lead, but they can't ring the bell. NBA Wednesday doubleheader presented by State Farm starts at 7. Memphis in Boston, and then at 9:30 tonight, Chris Paul and the Clippers taking on Kevin Durant and Oklahoma City. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown charged by Dew. Both games on ESPN. Watch ESPN.
Blake Griffin should give all of his teammates a big-time present at the end of the year for keeping them in contention.
Caleb Martin, a wild miss. Here comes Duke again. The Blue Devils missed 4 shots on their last possession.
It was interesting that they ran consecutive plays for Brandon Ingram, because as you said, it's been a while since he scored.
Yeah, he was dominating the game for a while in the first half. Finds Grayson Allen for 3. He has 18 points. That's his 4th-3 of the afternoon.
And 12th for Duke, so 3 above their season average. They come in averaging 81 points per game. You got to put up a number against this team.
Maverick Rowan, they need it. They don't get it. Abu underneath all alone. Caleb Martin.
And Plumlee tells his staff, I'm ready to go back in. And he'll check in at the next dead ball.
He was running to his left, and his nose was leading the direction. There's no doubt that was a broken nose.
This guy will go into the Army when this season is over.
The kind of men we need and want in our military, and ladies too.
I'm going to feel better knowing this guy's going in.
His proud parents are here. Marshall's working toward becoming a U.S. Army officer. He signed an ROTC contract January of 2015. Has a nose for the ball at the moment as he went to the offensive glass. Grayson Allen. Plumlee fighting.
Well, Mom looks a little terrified. Dad's saying, that's my boy right there going to work with a broken nose. How about the toughness? You know, keeps it alive by tipping it and then no fear. Go ahead and flex, and Dad says, yes, sir.
They've produced 3 terrific players, Marshall, Miles, and Mason. All played at Duke. Miles and Mason were first-round picks. Wow, give him credit. Dad's proud of the toughness. Mom is too. I think Mom's probably a little more concerned about her son's face right now than Dad is.
Question.
15 points and 8 rebounds for Plumlee. Oh, 3 and a chance for 4 for Cat Barber.
Well, this guy just big playmaking ability. Kennard in the closeout. He's going to use Martin as a rub screen. Jones is anticipating Kennard will make that switch and close out. Does so, but fouls the jump shooter. Little iffy to me. I mean, I didn't love that call, to be honest with you. It could have been a no call.
Saw Barber landing as if protecting that right arm. He is well aware that he doesn't want to land hard on that right elbow again. 5-point game. Kennard, soft touch, hung on the rim and decided to go through.
He's been terrific, Sean.
4.5 to go. NC State down by 7. Trying to win and fight for another day. Maverick Rowan, wide left from 3. Nice rebound. Leonard Freeman off the setup from Cody Martin. Couldn't finish. And Coach K wants his team to not be in a hurry. A 7-point lead and under 4 minutes to go now. Allen. Gotta question the wisdom of that shot. More time on the clock. He was well beyond the line. Cat Barber makes them pay.
That's exactly right, because your shot selection is the first point of your transition defense, and I wonder if Mike Krzyzewski going to use a timeout here and let him know it. That was a poor decision.
Nebraska and Rutgers. Indiana, the outright regular season champions, the #1 seed in Indianapolis. Do you like Michigan State?
I love Michigan State. I love Denzel Valentine. Reminds me of Draymond Green, all the ways he can affect winning.
Grayson Allen underneath for Plumlee. Got rid of it just before he traveled. Boy, that was
close.
a grab. Mark Gottfried off the bench. He wants an intentional foul. Barber was ahead of Allen. He just grabbed him around the waist from behind. Gottfried irate. Mike Eads going over there to tell him to calm down. The officials are going to confirm.
I thought it wasn't intentional. I mean, it was not a basketball play to me. He intentionally knows he's got no shot. I'm just trying to slow him down. And Mike Eads went immediately to the other official. I think in his mind, he's thinking the same thing.
Grayson Allen is starting to become, if he's not already, public enemy #1 around the ACC. Twice this year he tripped players. Both certainly seemed to be intentional. I mean, this wasn't a dirty play. He's just trying to stop Barber from taking off. But He's going to be one of those guys, if he stays at Duke, he's going to hear it from the crowd like some Duke players of the past.
And here's the tripping that you mentioned. This one, that's the first one. And so no suspension on that one. See, I thought in the second instance there could have been a one-game suspension. Only Sean, there
No
it is.
doubt. And there's no place for that.
Right.
And I know he apologized. What difference does a reprimand make?
Right. I just thought after the second trip, it absolutely should have been at the very least a one-game suspension.
February 8th against Louisville, the first one he tripped Ray Spalding. February 25th, tripped Xavier Ratan Mays in the final seconds. And Mike Krzyzewski did a call. They apologized to Leonard Hamilton. He said he was fine with it. There's going to be a flagrant one. No attempt on the ball, and that was very easy after looking at the monitor. Seemed pretty easy live, in all honesty. And he just grabbed him from behind in the middle of the arena. Third personal on Grayson Allen.
I mean, he's going to hold the jersey. It's just
twice.
Yeah, it's not a basketball play. It's a good call.
And a big call.
And a big one. That's exactly right. If Cat can make these free throws.
Barber 3 for 3 from the line today. No. Big miss with 3:21 to go, down by 5 from one of the best free throw shooters in the country. That one was his usual form. And with as banged up as his arm is, and with fatigue having to be a factor, even though he says he doesn't get tired, you can understand why he'd miss one. The ball is well. Down by 4. Barber took the handoff from Maverick Rowan. Rowan on a curl. Ingram close by. And now Barber gets knocked down. Looked like a turnover waiting to happen. And then Grayson Allen banged into him, and that's his 4th.
Only the team's 6th foul. Rowan, nice job delivering the basketball out. He had no balance.
So 2 fouls in 15 seconds against Grayson Allen. Each team with 16 fouls. The next one triggers the bonus. Barber, he's fouled. There is the bonus, although this will be a 2-shot foul on his way to the bucket. Matt Jones given the foul, his 3rd. There's Barber at the line.
Think about all the weight that's been on this kid's shoulders. Playing about 96% of his team's minutes. And carrying the weight of the offense on his shoulders. Has to whoosh that one in.
Wow, that's 2 misses in the last 2 trips. But it is a 1-possession game. 8 points in the last 2 minutes for Barber to keep NC State within striking distance. 2:45 to go. Grayson Allen, 18 points today. He and Ingram have combined for 40. They're the highest scoring duo in the ACC. Jones, nice move, then missed the layup. 3-ball would tie it for the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack, they have to be running on fumes right now. Not a lot in the tank. And they were down by 9 with just more than 6 minutes to go. Shake and bake and bucket for Barber.
He was so afraid of him getting by. He was so afraid that you give him a cushion and he uses that mid-range, that in-between, and Mark Gottfried is fired up.
29 for Cat Barber. Grayson Allen down the lane, took a hit in the face.
Now watch Cat Barber working against Grayson Allen because they put Kennard on Rowan to try to limit the catch. Just backs him down, got him dancing out there on the defensive end, and gets to the in-between. You back him off with a little shimmy with your shoulders. That's nice.
Fourth foul on Cody Martin, so he's one away from extinction, and it also puts NC State over the limit. Grayson Allen, 2 for 2 today from the line.
And if he does become the guy that people dislike, I think you got to embrace it. I didn't see anybody. I mean, Christian Laettner could wear that and wear it comfortably. J.J. Redick wore it comfortably. And Grayson's just going to have to wear it comfortably.
Missed the second. It is a 2-point game. 2 to tie and 3 to reclaim the lead. Barber right by Thornton. Got into the lane. Cody Martin the floater, and we're tied at 89 with a minute and a half to go.
Yet another opportunity created by Cat Barber. Good job by Martin to be patient. He lift that defender with the up fake.
How about the 2 games NC State's been involved in with all the ties and lead changes? Ingram, no. Plumlee, yes. And a foul.
Now the board work this guy has done. It has been a quiet second half for Brandon Ingram. It's soft on the rim. The big guy goes up and gets it. 4-0 delivers with an and one opportunity. Broken nose and all.
Cody Martin has just fouled out, and that's huge. Didn't score. Martin went to the other after they reviewed it. Mike Eads said they just went back to the monitor again to make sure they had the right Martin. The graphic had Martin for no points. The official stats had Cody for 2 in the game. You want to give him his due. Plumlee, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 4 block shots. And has come back into the game with the broken nose. Approaching 1 minute to go. Abu to Cat Barber, guarded by Allen. Rowan with Thornton right on him. Didn't need that.
No, they didn't. And just terrific job by Thornton. We saw them run that play to success. They tried to close the elevator doors at the free throw line. Thornton would have none of it.
Thornton handling the ball. These are 2 players with Rowan Garden who both classified up to play basketball this year in college. They both were supposed to be in high school this year. Allen stuck in the air. Great defense by Caleb Martin. But NC State last to touch. Duke will have only 2 seconds on the shot clock after the Coach K timeout.
Well, how about that? Because your matchups are entirely different without the other Martin on the floor right there. That's a tough switch. Got to have time for a dribble, if necessary, to create space if you're Duke.
In these situations, you frequently look for the lob to the rim or the inbound right under the bucket. Grayson Allen threw up an air ball, fighting Cat Barber for the ball. How do they play it? Down by 3. Barber guarded by Kennard. They're not running anything at the moment.
This is taking way too long.
They're trying to get Maverick Rowan open at the arc, and Barber turned it over. Duke trying to run out the time. And it looks like they will. Foul with 1.3 to go. That was a disjointed offensive possession for Cat Barber and the Wolfpack the entire time.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't stay in attack mode. He pulled it back out. Visible frustration from Martin. We've seen Barber be in attack mode all day. This is a look at it. You see they're trying to get Rowan for the 3-point shot, but they have guarded that play well all day.
And have to foul.
Yeah, turnover ensues. I thought there was enough time you could have. You said, how would they play it? There was enough time for Cat to attack the rack, get a 2, and then put him on the free throw line. If you didn't get a clean look at the 3, and they have tried that baseline multiple screen for Rowan, which has been gone.
Charlotte, UNC Charlotte back then.
Do you put somebody on the inbounder? Do you put size? Is it Brandon? Is it Marshall Plumlee to impede vision?
To get it to Cat Barber on the move, maybe a bounce in the long heat.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, what's the best you can hope for?
I think that. I think we
Just
saw
over
this.
half court
Well, in
and
the
launch?
Virginia, remember the Virginia-Carolina game we had? They had worked on that play for so long.
And they put the 7-footer Plumlee on the ball. Caleb Martin, their best three-point shooter, plays it in. Barber, the catch. 2 dribbles. Did he get it off? It doesn't matter. Well, they got it to Barber on the move. A dribble or two. Might have been one too many. They would have had to go to the monitor, certainly, to judge if it would have counted. And NC State battled all the way to the end. They were down by 9, and it looked like they were fading. They rallied to make it a seat squirmer for Duke, but it's on to the quarterfinals for the Blue Devils.
Valiant effort. That young man, Cat Barber, has got to be exhausted, Sean. I did not think it would count. 2 dribbles is too much to me in that circumstance.
Well, it's Cat Barber's last game for the Wolfpack. He will depart on a 29